and welcome to the 2 minutes before the official start of the CKP Year Ahead panel. My name is Chris Kennedy. Chris Kennedy was supposed to be here, but he, unfortunately, his parents had some health issues, and so he had to bow out. So instead, you get us.
We are Chris Kennedy.
We are Legion. We are Chris Kennedy. So,
I mean, it's a factory, after all.
That's right. That's right. Most of the time, my name's Casey Zell, and I write books.
Yep. I am Chris Kennedy, and also, when I am not Chris Kennedy, I am Reese Wolf, and I also write books.
Hi, my name is Chris Kennedy, and also, strangely enough, Melissa Olthoff. And I write lots of books too. Yay!
Yeah.
So here we are.
I'm Chris Kennedy and you're not.
Correct, except for right now, when I am.
I also write under the name John Osborne.
Another really old TV reference. Who is the real Chris Kennedy? Real Chris Kennedy, please stand up.
That is the $64,000 question. So I guess I'm Chris Kennedy.
Yeah.
But I'm also David Allen Jones, and I write for Chris Kennedy.
Yeah.
These are our bonuses. The bonus Chris's.
And I guess I'm also Chris
You are?
Kennedy.
Yes, you are.
And alternately, Mark Wandry created the Four Horsemen universe.
The keeper of the name. The keeper of the lore.
And I'm not Chris Kennedy.
And on this stage, if you're not Chris Kennedy, you can't be up here.
Okay.
Let's do it. I think it's time.
I'm Craig Hughes and
All right.
I'm right.
I am ready when
I'm ready. Awesome. So because we are not actual Chris Kennedy, we do not have the books to give away. So we are not going to do the art guessing game, although you're more than welcome to yell out about it. We're going to use that so we can go a little faster so you can see the beautiful art and then the beautiful books. And we have a lot of excellent authors who are also Chris Kennedy and also themselves in the room, and so they will be able to talk briefly about their books, because once again, there is a salvage title round table tomorrow at
Noon.
say your time, 12.
Noon.
Thank you, and we'll go into depth there, and there is a 4-HU on Sunday at 11. Both of those are in this room, and so we will talk in a lot more detail about those books then, so they'll be pretty short.
Yeah,
here.
so come hang out.
But we've got Mark Wandry / Chris Kennedy here, and we've got Kevin Steverson / Chris Kennedy here, so you can also corner them after and keep them from doing productive things.
Please do not.
Chris has lied about his age. Look at that.
He's 12. Aww, that's why you can be here. He's minor.
So Chris Kennedy Publishing's been around for a little over a decade, primarily working in multiple genres, but science fiction, particularly military science fiction, a little bit of fantasy, a little bit of alternate history, a little horror, some urban fantasy, so lots of good stuff. Okay.
I'm not going to stop.
I want the laser beam.
No.
I want the laser.
It's,
Why?
sometimes it's good to want things.
I want it.
There was a boy band, I think it was Ricky Naismith and several
The
other
Monkees?
people. Yeah, isn't one of them on the panel?
Hey.
Hey,
The Monkees.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
That was amazing.
David Jones.
Thank you so much.
I understood that. So, New Mythology Press is the fantasy imprint of Chris Kennedy Publishing.
It is.
And,
We're going to talk about it.
yeah,
Let me turn this so you can see so you can keep.
perfect, thank you.
We're so
I'll
smart.
just be in the way.
You're never in the way.
I love it.
You're always in the center.
It'd be easier if you gave me the laser.
You guys familiar with the Malaysian Accords? Yeah? You guys like some urban fantasy? Yeah. Chris, would you tell us about the Malaysian Accords, please?
Why, thank you, Chris. The Malaysian Accord is an urban fantasy universe created by some genius named John R. Osborne.
He's
So smart.
He's so
So
good.
smart.
amazing.
Currently 6
You should
books.
bring him beer.
Yes, bring Oz beer. Hashtag. The most recent book is House of Owls, which wraps up the second story arc. It is out in print, electronic, and audio. Do we have another slide?
Yeah.
We do, because there's
But wait.
more.
Because
Hey.
the Malaysian
I mean,
Accords
Chris.
here got bigger.
Hey, Chris, stand up.
Yeah, yes, you, Chris.
Yes.
Chris in a skirt.
The cute Chris.
The green hair that looks gorgeous.
Thank you. Yes, me, Chris is not used to going first.
Well, that's what she said.
No. Also, it's amazing. So I'm gonna walk us here. So once upon a time, a genius named John R. Osborne recruited somebody named H. McGregor to write a series for him. And that was a year and a half ago, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Am I?
You're good, you're good.
And so, because Chris Kennedy does the rapid release thing, thankfully, now we have 4 books in the series come out over the last 8 months. And my common pitch is I explain the Milesian Accords is how magic gets back into the universe, and then my series is oh no, magic is back in the universe. So if you're interested in Russian mythology, that is largely what this is based on. It is out in ebook and paperback, and the first 2 are out in audio. The next 2 are coming out in audio starting next month. I think book 3 comes out in July, and book 4 will hopefully be sometime in the fall. Yeah, they haven't started putting out them yet, so.
Yeah, so that,
Oh, yes, if you would like to buy my books, please buy my books because I don't want to take them home on your own. I will be in Authors Alley tomorrow from 4 to 6. So, and you can find me at HMaker.
Also, if you want to learn more about the Milesian Accords, we will be in Ballroom C tomorrow at 10.
Fancy.
Yes, at least I will be here. 10, yeah. Do you think I would be at 10 a.m.?
yes, I've met you.
Chris needs his beauty sleep.
Chris needs sleeping.
So Theogony Books is essentially the, I guess, sort of the flagship imprint or the catch-all imprint. I don't know what the right word is. But this is the military sci-fi and the sci-fi imprint of Chris Kennedy Publishing.
So, anybody recognize this next? I mean, again, we don't have the books, but who wants to play the guessing game of what title, what awesome book goes with this awesome art?
Space ass.
If there is space ass there.
Salvage Title Universe, guys. Anybody familiar?
Anybody heard of it?
Yeah?
Yeah, couple. Yeah.
Chris, would you like to come up and talk about Salvage Title Universe?
Do you want me to just get
Chris Space Ass.
Yeah, here you go. This is my space dad, Chris Kennedy.
So, we just did about the 30th book in the universe.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
That was Melissa's book. And then I've got one right now that I'm finishing the edits on. I should have got it to Chris yesterday, but I'm finishing it up here in the room for the night. And so Salvage Defense will be going to him too. So
Woo!
Very cool.
July 18th.
And then for the last hour and a half, Nick and I have been kicking around some things because he's going to be following that with some stuff. So.
Trouble.
All the trouble. I love it.
But anyhow, we got around to it tomorrow. We'll talk
Nobody
about it.
dies.
Oh, it's a lie. Do not lie to
You're a
me.
liar.
You would never lie to us.
Yeah, so once again, the Salvage Title Universe Roundtable is tomorrow at noon in this room. So come check it out, get your book signed, and ask your series-specific questions then.
Okay.
Next, we got some John Sears goodness.
John Sears, you guys familiar with his series? The Lunar Free State.
So
Great
good.
series.
He has been knocking books out.
Yeah, very prolific.
Chris Kennedy Prime said that book 12 was John's best.
Yeah.
They get better. I mean, they start great and they get better. Yeah.
So book 12 completes the original arc, and then he's going to pull a Fred Hughes, which we'll talk about here in a minute, and do some additional story arcs to follow. So
More cool stuff to come.
yeah, great stuff. Great stuff.
Ooh.
Pyatt.
Ah.
Yeah. Paul Pyatt.
Hi.
Abner Fortis, ISMC.
Dinley, do it not like
Dinley. That's right. That's right. War Criminal is going to be out August 30th. Yeah. Book 11, and then and that's the one that we've got on the screen right there. And then number 12 is actually titled Dinley, which
Nice.
coming out later this year. So,
Also rocking it.
anybody know what this is? Yeah, it's
Space Dad, Chris, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah. That's Kevin Eichenberry and Chris Kennedy put those together. I will have a book coming out in that. Those are, the first few books are obviously takes place off of Earth. And then my book is titled Meanwhile Back on Earth.
Nice.
Back on the farm.
I love it.
So there's 4 books out.
Yes.
Book 5 you said will be later this year?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Please notice that it says book 5 is either going to be Kevin Steverson.
It's a race.
It's all about scheduling.
Right.
We're all real busy, so.
Right.
No.
One of the Chris Kennedys
It's
will
a
be
race.
next.
Yeah.
So Chris Kennedy's gonna put up book 5.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just a question of which one.
Chris Kennedy, nobody knows.
Yeah, my money's on you,
It's not
Kevin,
me.
Chris.
I promise.
Marines.
Oh, last month.
Let's go, let's go.
Which dropped yesterday.
Yeah.
It did. Operation Seraphim.
Happy
That's
Book
right.
Friday.
That's right.
Yeah.
Um,
Do I want to talk about it?
You, Chris, from me, Chris, want to talk about this Chris's book.
So I do know that I have some serious cover envy for this series. Like his covers are some of my favorite that CKB has put out is the Last Marine series.
Yeah.
And I know the books are just as good.
You had one that just came out today, right?
Yes.
Yesterday.
Operation
Friday.
Seraphim just came out, and then he
Yeah.
also has
Today's
that.
Today.
Right now.
Today.
It's brand new right now. We don't know what day it is, but we do know this book is
You guys are
great.
here. Don't ask us one time back.
Today's on Saturday. Oh,
It feels
shit,
like
it's
Saturday.
Friday.
He also had the Conglomerate trilogy come out. All 3 books series is complete.
Yeah.
So if you want to complete a trilogy, William S. Frisbee has got you covered.
I really should not be looking forward to
It's like nonstop action, you guys. You'd love it.
Okay, here we go.
Oh.
Hey, I recognize this.
You guys know what this is?
Looks like a refrigerator.
It is.
Are you hungry?
Yes!
Yeah. It's
Okay,
dinner
we have
time.
a not Chris Hughes here. Or
Yeah,
not
not
Chris
Chris
Hughes.
Hughes. He needs some facts, not Chris Hughes. All right, not Chris. Tell us about the stories.
Oh, not
Are we
bad.
still okay? I can only see
For
Chris.
those-
He used camouflage.
Heroes Return, which is book 4, will be out on the 11th, next month. That cover art is pretty new. Chris just dropped it last week.
Yeah.
Very nice.
We had to do some things to fix it. I didn't like the original, but
You're such a diva.
yeah. We've already discussed that before. Chris number 1.
Do you want to explain?
Well, Heroes of Britannia is the follow-up series to my first series, the 9-book series, Prince of Britannia, which people have already inferred that I killed the main character off. But,
Spoilers.
spoilers, but, spoiler
Still a
alert.
good story.
The cover for book 4, you see there's a bunch of Marines standing around what looks like a capsule-looking device. I wonder what might be in that capsule.
It's right here. There we are.
Is it food?
Also hungry.
It's not a Tic Tac.
Dang it.
It's not a Tic Tac. So okay.
So
are you-
anyway, so there's surprises in book 4, which, you know, I'm writing book 5, which will be out in October.
Heck yeah.
So
How many books in the Heroes series are you expecting?
6, but sometimes the Marines might take over
I
again.
get it.
Something like
Yeah, it
that.
happens.
That happens.
4-book trilogies.
I mean,
Well,
6 to 10
well,
books.
the first series was only supposed to be a trilogy, and I finally stopped.
We're familiar with this problem.
Yeah, yeah. We know
You've
that.
got a good story to tell. You've got a good story to tell.
Fred, are you doing Author's Alley or anything?
I at 8, 9, and excuse me, yeah, 8, 9, and 10. If I can stay awake, I'll be up in Office Alley. Kevin will be up there. We're going to try to get tables next to each other, so
Nice.
you can come and gab at both of us.
Yeah. So come talk to Fred, come talk to Kevin, get your books signed, buy some books. Be a good time.
Yes.
All right. Ooh.
TT3.
Diane Reed. I love these covers, you guys.
It's a good series.
Oh, yeah. They're so good.
And I know that Diane is currently working on book 6.
She's been making really good progress.
Steady progress.
Yeah. So this is the 7th Shaman series. Anybody read it? You'd love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should check it out.
It's really good.
They're incredibly good. It's sort of mythology-informed, no sci-fi, I guess. Is that how to look at it?
It's a blend.
Yeah, super good. But Diane is also an Air Force veteran, and so she's very conscientious about the military stuff, and it's just, her characters are fantastic. So highly, highly, highly recommended.
I also highly, highly, highly recommend this next one.
Yeah.
I love that my name's on it now.
Yeah, it is.
So Ashes of Ventia, fine, click away from
I was
mine.
gonna
Sorry, I wanted to show the pretty cover. I was showing the covers.
So that's the three people who've written novels in the Ashes of Ventia space opera series. We had quite a few of you guys sitting in the audience actually wrote short stories, for which I thank you. But we've got 5 books out. The first 3 are the sort of kickoff trilogy that I wrote with Chris Kennedy. Book 4 is that anthology, which sort of demonstrates the breadth of the universe. It's like a sandbox style universe. And then book 5, sorry, novel 4 is Blood for Father that came out in January by Marissa Lee. So, and well,
Yeah.
please hold. Yeah, go ahead. Oh yeah, no, there we go. Sorry, it's on that slide. Yeah, so we've got 5 books released. Book 6, Chris is saying by the end of the year. I have no idea how he's going to fit it in, but he told me he will. So there you go.
That's what she said.
I restrained myself that time.
Nope, I refuse.
That's
Thank
also
you.
what she said. So Chris has got one coming out, and then Melissa Olthoff and I are hopefully going to be trying to also fit one in.
Fit it in somehow.
by the end of the year.
Angry Irish space princess,
Yeah.
anyway. And I do believe our feral Chris has some plans.
Yes. My next book after By Frost Down is
Is it my turn? Yay! All right, so we got one coming by John Osborne as well. So.
Awesome. And tomorrow, Casey and Melissa and I will be at Authors Alley at 1.
Mhm.
I definitely know how time works. And we are down to 2 copies of Blood of Her Father, so if you were interested in it.
Yeah.
Get there early.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right. Get there early, get there often.
Yeah. First 3 books in this series are available in paperback, ebook, and audio. Everything else is available in ebook and paperback.
And cash is a priority on that.
Hey, this guy.
You guys don't know.
Real.
What is it? Someone said it. Symbiote Wars. Oh, it's Mark. Of course Mark knew. Mark knows everything. This is Chris Kennedy's solo series, The Symbiote Wars. So we've got 5 books are already out with more to come. You can also get a free prequel to introduce you to, so if you're not sure if you want to invest in another big series, you can go to the link that's shown on the wall behind me, sign up for the mailing list and get a free prequel story. So it's pretty cool. It's like a kind of like a family odyssey, but with space war and aliens. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
very soft and fuzzy.
yeah. Very, very cuddly
Very
series.
cute.
What if Venom was a family?
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, there's everybody.
That's a good way to put it.
Nice.
Awesome. Next.
Oh, anybody recognize this one?
That's Chris's new one. I forget the red
Yeah.
one.
Kingdom
Kingdom
Lost.
Lost series, yeah.
So Chris has said that he really, really likes these characters and he loves this universe, and if readers want more, please let him know, because he does have a complete initial arc, but he would love to do more with this universe. So
Yeah.
if you like it, leave reviews and let Chris know that you want more from it.
And
Yeah.
if you're not sure you want to dive right into a complete trilogy, which is crazy, you again can go get the free prequel on the Chris Kennedy Publishing website.
So,
Oh, more cool.
Pull up that cover.
That's pretty weird.
Honestly, one of these
yeah, this is Chris Maddox's
Oh.
series, The Devil's Choir.
That's second to Calls of Tune, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Devil's Outpost,
Yeah, the first one was Devil Calls the Tune, that came out a hot minute ago.
Oh my.
Yeah, and then Chris Maddox turned in Devil's Outpost like last year, so it is released. You can go and get it. And then more to come. He's looking for book 3, Q4 this year. So, yeah,
First book was really good.
that's the name of the series.
I love this cover so much.
Hey, we got a guy for this.
Yeah, we do have a guy. I have a guy. Hey guy, do you wanna
Guy.
talk about the things?
Guy, hey guy.
Hey guy, come on. Come on, George.
Hey, Chris on the
Too many.
I want to talk about Bill Fawcett's series Never Again.
Would you like the microphone?
I'll just shout. Can you hear me in the back?
What?
Okay. So never again, Bill Fawcett said, this beautiful universe where the Kurds have their own republic. They've got power armor, a gift of the canceled DARPA project, with which to defend themselves against everybody around them who wants to destroy them, as is actually the truth. I'm gonna say when I started picking up the series and helped with writing No Fail, No Further, and then other Chris up there, and I wrote Forlorn Hope together. Our editor kept telling us, Casey, we're supposed to be writing fiction.
Yeah.
We also made
There
our
are things
editor
that
cry,
happen
I'm
never
not
again that are
sorry.
actually happening right now.
Yeah.
But so the Kurds defend themselves against an Iranian invasion, then they've got to defend themselves against Iranian nuclear annihilation, and then the international forces are growing and conspiring and hiring large numbers of mercenary units with actual combat suits that exist in the modern day that the Russians developed, to try once again to wipe out the nascent Kurdish Republic. But they're going to keep holding, probably, maybe, spoilers, there's more books and they're still there.
So if you like underdogs that have no quit in them,
Yeah.
and you like realistic military fiction,
And
you're gonna
Hueys,
like these.
Echelons, NC-130s, and A-10s, they're in there too.
I want to say that this is near future mil sci-fi, but it's kind of now future mil sci-fi.
It's like Tuesday future?
So, last week, Casey, are you selling it all at Upper Valley? Can people get
I will be selling all 4 books in Authors Alley. Tomorrow, I need classes, I'm getting old, 6 to 8.
Nice.
Tomorrow from 6 to 8 in Authors Alley.
Sick.
Can you believe that? I need classes now.
I'm sorry.
Not true. Not true.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because the light ticked in for movie.
Yeah, that's
Right.
definitely it.
Yeah.
There was another slide. Oh, and like Daniel Wisniewski did an incredible job on the audio.
Yeah.
And there will be more.
Hey, are you guys audio fans? I'm just curious. Raise your hand if you like audiobooks. Nice.
All right.
Okay.
This guy's great.
I'll look.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, we got a guy.
We got a guy. We have another
That was
guy.
fun.
Chris, would you like to talk about your books written by Chris?
I'm the short fat Chris.
Excuse you, we'll fight.
Gladius League's 3-book series complete, so you don't have to worry about more coming out unless I think of a new way to reinvent it.
We love it.
Any given doomsday,
Gladius,
definitely
Gladius.
But this is set in a future where we've eliminated war through a combat sport called the Gladius Leagues, and we have never found aliens in our vast expansion across the galaxy. And then one day aliens kick in the front door, and the only line of defense we have are a bunch of sports stars who wear power armor. Oh crap, now we have to reinvent the military.
As one does.
Yeah, these are a lot of fun.
Yes.
Did you have a question?
Yes, when does Chris Kennedy put a trilogy with only 3 books?
Take it up with Chris Kennedy.
Yeah. You
How dare he actually do a
So how
trilogy?
many more books are they going to be?
Maybe about 9.
All right, Blood Moon Press. If you had to guess, what genre would you say this is?
Romance.
Blood Moon Press is the horror imprint of Chris Kennedy Publishing. Go ahead.
Which is a really fun thing to do in this fallen world.
Yeah, that's right.
I saw Chris Woods.
Well, he's in the dealer hall. So we'll now be Chris Woods because all we are is Chris's. So Fallen World has 20 books released so far. Number 20 was Truth and Consequences. The plan to close out the main arc, 2 to 3 more books, will be finished by mid to late next year, 2026. Because we like completing things.
And we can't let the clowns win. That's
Right.
just unacceptable.
Then that really would be this Fallen World.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
And Chris Woods might not be in the upper alley, but he does have a table in the dealer hall where he's selling really cool costumes. And then also really cool books.
Yeah. Let's go check them out.
Yeah. Oh.
How many aspiring authors do we have in the room? You don't get to raise your hand if you're already published by Chris Kennedy Publishing.
I would really hope that things
You're no longer aspiring. If you're looking for some solid craft advice, right, let us point you to Quillcraft Press. This is the non-fiction imprint of Chris Kennedy Publishing that came about because so many people were like, bro, how the hell do you do the things that you do? And so Chris wrote about it, and then hung out with a bunch of other smart people who were like, yeah, I know how to do some stuff, and so they also wrote about it. Yeah, we've got books on world building, we've got books on self-publishing or indie publishing, we've got books on character creation and story structure, so great resource. I would say they're available at Chris Kennedy's table in the dealer hall, but that does not exist, so.
I have one copy.
Oh, plenty of people find you.
If you went back in time, you can see the panel this morning on it. Basically, this is authors writing for authors.
Yeah. So it's good stuff. So highly recommend you check that out as well. And then there's the superstar. Seventh Seal Press is the Four Horsemen Universe imprint of Chris Kennedy Publishing. So
Tentacles. Why is it always tentacles?
always tentacles. We got 98 books.
And in 2 months.
98.
In 2 months, that's gonna be 100.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about these a lot more on Sunday, but we do have Speaker in the back. And Speaker is closing out the Phoenix Initiative series. So he and Sandra have book 4 of the Rogel book. Speaker, do you wanna do a quick
You want to talk about it?
thing? Since you're ending the Phoenix
There we go.
Initiative.
I found
This is Speaker Chris.
Yeah.
It is
Speaker Chris!
This is Science Chris.
Science Chris. It's like Barbie. They're all different Chris's.
They're all Barbie.
So,
This Chris.
I generally don't need a microphone, the years of lecturing. So, we started, Mark came up with this great creature called the Rogel, which is an intelligent 4-foot-tall octopus, and they are supreme brain surgeons. And then when it came time, he invited me into anthology and says, hey Rob, you could write the Rogel. And after a couple of Rogel stories, there was the invitation, hey, would you like to write some novels? So we have we had a Rogel crash onto a human world with amnesia and basically grew up thinking that it was just an 8-armed human. In the course of trying to figure out where they came from, it took us four books, so obviously a trilogy. And we're closing it out. The Rogel of the planet Azure are sailing off on their ship, the Nautilus, and they may just have found out where they came from.
Dun, dun, dun.
And they're not necessarily going to like the answer that they find.
Yeah.
That'll happen. So that comes out June 27th, which is
That comes out in a week.
Yes.
Yay! From here, I have to go back to my room and write the back cover for it.
So that will be book 99 of the Four Horsemen.
Hey, Marisa, do you want to tell us about book 100?
I would love to do that.
Okay.
So, like I said, Speaker and Sandra's book ends the Phoenix Initiative, and then we pick up with Exodus, which I'm going to let Mark talk about because he brought us all here to start, so he can decide when we're going to bring it home. And I don't want to give any spoilers. But this is the cover of book 100 of the Four Horsemen universe. Somebody's about to have a really bad day. A lot of people are about to have a really bad day.
I feel like that's like the synopsis for
There's a lot of tentacles in that art.
I have summed up this book in 2 ways. One, tentacles. Why does it always have to be tentacles? And 2, the horrors persist, and so do I.
Oh, wait, I think I out-tentacle you in my book.
Oh, you out-tentacle me? Challenge accepted. Except my book is done, so I can't go. Do you want to go to the next one? So this is Shades of the Past. Chris and I wrote this in about 5.5 weeks. And the other Chris was super disappointed because we wrote 2 books in 6 weeks a couple years ago. But when I said the horrors persist and so do I was talking about both our characters and the authors. So we went through a lot and finished this, but we had a ton of fun. The characters did absolutely not have fun. And I'm really excited for you to see it. We have 3 of the 4 horsemen in this book. The 4th horseman company did not show up for reasons with capital R. And if you remember Colby's Killers from World Enders, the Phoenix Initiative anthology, and I think they showed up a couple other places, they are in this too. It's going to be super fun, and it's book 100, so you should just own it for collectors.
Also, I'm very smug because I've read it, and you guys do not want to miss it. I would argue that Jen has some fun blowing things up at some point.
Jen does.
I mean,
All right, there's a little fun, but mostly the horror persist. Mark, do you want to talk to us about Exodus? Or for you? Yeah, you.
No, the other Mark.
It's Chris Kennedy, Chris Laundry.
Yes, Chris.
Well, Exodus is the final series of the main arc of the Four Horsemen universe. It all comes, as we've been saying, all good things must end. This is where all the mysteries come out and all the answers are there, and all the checks have to be paid. And they're not all coming out of it alive. So this is going to be a serious series of books. The Cartwright's Cavalier is actually Unto Darkness. He mistyped it that there, but that's up to 20,000 words into that, and that's the last of the Cartwright standalone books that will be written. So yeah, that's we're estimating there's about 6 titles within the last series, which is Exodus. It's going to be pretty hard to write some of these books.
Yeah. Raise your hand if you've read the Four Horsemen universe.
Hi!
Nice.
Raise your hand if you read 98 Four Horsemen universe. Oh my god, you're amazing! Cheers for you.
Don't forget, Four Horsemen Universe Roundtable and Mass Autograph Session, Sunday in this room at 11 a.m. So bring your lunch, I guess.
You can also find Mark and Joy in the dealer hall. You can see all of Joy's bags of Joy. And Mark's got a fine spread of 4-H books at his table also, so go check those out. If you would like to join these fabulous people and read 98 of these books, go pick them up for mine.
Also, the most recent book is Caveat Emptor, which just came out by Mark and I.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, why is that? It just came out last night. It was back. Yeah, we were too excited.
There it is.
There it is. Hey, there it is. You want to talk about that? Yeah, you want to talk about it?
We have time.
So this is tied into the Kickstarter and the RPG. And one of the pledge levels was we would write a story, a book, about the mercenary unit of your choice. Well, the winner had a very interesting request.
He said write about all of them.
And all the fan club ones. And so, and Mark and I, despite having known each other for 35 years, had never written a book together before. So,
And we're never doing it again.
I like it to giving 2 toddlers a 2-liter Mountain Dew, stick them in a room full of toys, and tell them don't break anything.
It was a fun ride. It's a love letter to the Mercenary Guild. Anybody that knows there's the Four Horsemen Mercenary Guild, the fan organization with how many members we have? Several hundred members.
Yeah.
700. And we put as many of the groups in there as we could. A lot of it is kind of tongue-in-cheek. It's not necessarily actual people, but there are a few actual people in there who are redshirted, who had also passed on the Valhalla unit. They're members in the past, so we did this to honor all of them and say thank you for supporting us for all this time.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool.
And very important thing that you should also know, if you have not read this book, they find a lot of toys. A lot of weapon toys, not inappropriate toys.
Yeah, I guess that you and Chris really like those toys.
We had a lot of fun with those.
We made up some new toys and blew up some old ones. That was nice of you
I
guys.
mean, that's, we're here to help.
Yeah.
Teamwork.
Teamwork.
All right. Tentacles.
Also coming soon.
And Mark.
All right, so this thing has been years in the making.
And what's the thing we're going to say now? It's actually
No.
Oh.
It's not done yet.
okay. So the formatting's finished.
So we finished well, actually, we finished the basic layout. We have 2 big steps to go. The next one is where we go through it page by page, make sure there's no errors or glitches or anything needs to be,
We tried hard to have it done here, we just didn't quite get there.
And then after that, we can lock the PDF and send it out to the backers.
So in just a few weeks, all the PDFs will be out, and then we're going to start setting up the printing. It's just a little more complicated to have the printing done.
Yeah, then the printing, we have to go through the whole proofing process with that. We're going to have it proof printed, and we go through that page by page to make sure that everything looks right in print, because
then we actually do fulfillment. We'll ship them to our houses, and we'll put together with it. We had a lot of this stuff for several years. We had it ready to go.
I have boxes in my office.
I actually have a box of Topic favor tokens. Yeah, ready to go.
But yeah, we should have this wrapped soon, trademark.
Not quite Elon soon, but soon.
Yes, we don't know how long the printing will take because that's a very fluid situation with what's been going on in the U.S. with printing. But given current events, I'm really glad that we decided to stick to a U.S. printer. so there won't be any problems there. I mean, worst case scenario, Mark said, we can drive down there with a truck and get them.
Yeah.
I don't think that'd be necessary, but yeah.
And this is one of the things we promised from the art, from the book, is we said we're gonna actually have pictures of all 8 Caspers and what they look like. And our artists, this was one of our stickiest things, we got ghosted by 3 artists in the process of trying to do this.
They were all the Casper artists. You know, the most important part of the series. So yeah, the art for all the Caspers, there are statistics for every make and every block of Casper. There's gonna be a ton of alien art.
Very good.
There's gonna be locations that not only are you familiar with, but there's also gonna be some bonus information. And there's gonna be kind of a little encyclopedia for the 40, well not little, it's 300 and some pages.
Yeah, even if you're not a role player, this is a source book for the Four Horsemen universe, which is what we primarily wanted to do with it. And consequentially, if you don't want to play a role-playing game in it, now you have all the information you need.
I'll tell you guys a secret. While Oz was working on the stats and everything for every alien race that we encountered in the Four Horsemen universe for this book, that word got out amongst the authors. And so it became a thing where it's like, crap, I can't remember what the Salshas size are. Email Oz, he'll know.
Oh, I 100% owed Oz beer for the questions I asked him.
And just to let everybody know, so he's disappointed, this role-playing game is placed during the Revelation cycle.
Yeah.
So none of the latest, the Salshaw aren't in there because they really weren't like.
Yeah, the cutoff is roughly, by coincidence, when the axe falls. Which is actually technically the start of the Omega War book, but the start of that book takes place in Revelation cycle.
Right. Okay. So like the Cavaliers have only like a battalion, they haven't really been reformed completely, and there's a lot of things that aren't in there. So just
It's a good spot to jump in and play. Yeah.